hate it in presentations when they make you stand up and do things? Isn't that just the most annoying thing in the world? Good. Okay, me too. So, this is what I'm going to do. If you do not have a cell phone, stand up. One person. Okay. If you do not have a smartphone, well, first of all, if you don't know what the difference between a regular cell phone and a smartphone is, stand up. That's pretty good. Okay. If you do not have a smartphone, stand up. Do you have an iPhone? Now look at this group. Look at who is standing. It is almost 3/4 guys. Right? So that's saying that the rest of you all have some type of smartphone. So why don't you have a smartphone?
Me?
Yeah.
My dad won't pay for internet?
What?
My dad doesn't want to pay for internet?
He doesn't want to pay for it. So do you have a job?
Yeah.
There you go. No, it's not worth it. So why don't you have a smartphone?
Same thing. My dad don't pay for internet.
Okay. Anyone that does not, besides the dad factor? Anyone? Yes.
Walmart's just as good.
You say Walmart's just as good?
I get Facebook and everything.
At Walmart?
Yeah. Straight talk.
Okay, you guys can sit down. Okay. The interesting thing about this, I had to think about that for a second, the Walmart paper minute thing. Okay. The interesting thing about social media is the vast majority of people access it from their phones. And that's why I was kind of curious as to how many people had smartphones and all that. Let me ask you this. If you are not on Facebook, raise your hand. I figured. So, 1, 2, 3. You, my lone holdout, the only person in the world not on Facebook.
Yeah.
Why? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. Facebook's not cool, is it? Because everyone's on it. Your grandmother's on it.
I don't know, I never had it.
You never had it, so that's interesting. The rest of you all have Facebook. How many of you have been on Facebook today? Okay. How many of you have been on Facebook more than once today? How many of you have been on Facebook since you got into this room? How many of you are on Facebook right now? Okay, that's usually what she's right on Facebook. You're on Facebook right now? Facebook, really? So, okay, that's okay. I can survive that. So, the interesting thing about this is this has become so prevalent. This is no longer just kind of like a fad or a trend. And when I started teaching here 7 years ago, I brought up the idea of having a class on social media, and all the other 8 marketing instructors kind of looked at me and went, "What's social media?" And I said, "Well, kind of like, electronic viral marketing." And literally, the person in charge of making the decision said, "Oh, I don't have to worry about that. We have one of those things on the computer that gets rid of it if you get viral marketing." I'm like, "No, that's a virus, not viral marketing." So I just kind of rolled my eyes, and 2 years later, I kind of brought it up and said, "Should we have a class on social media?" And the response was, "We're already teaching that in our classes. We don't actually have a set class in it." So a year later, we started one with another program, and the department came and said, "Can we get in on this?" And the social media classes have become the most popular classes we've ever offered in our department in something like 4 years. So it's amazing how this tide is turning. The fact that you don't have Facebook.
Nope.
You have Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is the interesting. How many of you guys use email every day? You're very hesitant because you had to think. Email. Okay. Most people under the age of 30 consider email to be old-fashioned. Right? Do you guys think email is... Do you immediately, when you get up in the morning, do you check your email? Or do you check your Facebook account? You go to Facebook, don't you? So, and it's interesting how this technology has changed and evolved. Now the next thing, the younger generation, it's Twitter. And that's interesting that some people are saying, "I don't want to be on Facebook, I don't need to, because it's already mainstream. Everybody else is on it, so I want to do something different." So Twitter. What about Pinterest? Oh, thank God. Okay. I would have really had... Who's on Pinterest? Ladies? Okay, so do you like Pinterest? Pinterest is the third most popular social media site. Second only to Facebook and Twitter, which is really terrifying that pictures of flowers can have that part of control on the internet. So, there are 1 billion people in the world using Facebook. So, about 53% of America is on Facebook. You're the lone holdout here. So, a hardcore Facebook user will check in up to 1,000 times a day. Okay. That's a hardcore, I would argue, addicted to Facebook type person. What about the average Facebook user? The average Facebook user checks onto Facebook, takes a look at it from time they wake up, time they go to bed. How many times?
45.
45 times? 40? Who said 45? Look, 45. Are you an average or are you one of these like addicted ones?
Average.
So have you checked onto Facebook at least?
Probably 30 times today.
30 times already today. So, anyone else going to admit to checking into Facebook that much? You will? So,
I think it depends on the day. Like if you're bored, probably.
the average user, this is the average user, which is about 1 in 3 people, checks in on Facebook 51 times a day. That is an average user. So, generally they will not go more than an hour without checking Facebook. How many of you guys check Facebook after all your classes? How many of you checked Facebook in your class? You raise your hand because I've seen you do it. So, no. There we go. Yeah. So I'm just throwing a bunch of numbers out here, you guys, just to kind of reinforce this whole idea that social media is everywhere, and it's not going to go away. The one thing about social media is it has changed how human beings talk to each other. And up for the last several thousand years, the way that humans interacted was based on geography. So you grew up in a certain area, the people that you were friends with were geographically influenced. So if they weren't within a certain radius of where you are, you never ever spoke to anyone else. And that was true up until about the 1990s. That for thousands of years, chances are that up until about 1993, which is kind of the birth of the internet, chances are you will grow up, have your friends, get married, have a job, and die within about a 25-mile radius of where you were born. That was by far the vast majority of people. Starting, though, with the rise of the internet, we shifted from being geographically based connected to interest-based connections. So the whole idea of, if I want to go and talk about rugby. Anyone play rugby? Thank you. So rugby's a real sport, isn't it? Yes, thank you. Oh, come on, I should have gotten a reaction from that at least. Come on. So okay, we'll say that I really want, obviously, if I want to talk to people about rugby, this room is not where I go, because nobody in here except you and me like rugby. So that means if we're not physically connected, I would have no one to talk to. But I can go online and I can find 1 million people that I could talk about any sport. And I could get very specific and talk about specific types of rugby or specific plays, about someone that's made 7 tries in 1 game and didn't break anything. So he knows what I'm talking about. So, but that's the interesting thing, is people now can be connected based on your interests. And that's kind of why social media has exploded and why we're never ever going back. Because now that we have this interest-based connection, we would never ever go back to it. So that's important to know, that the social media concept is not going away, and it will follow you guys until the day you die. In fact, after you die, you probably will have a Facebook page about your life, because that's what Facebook really is. It's a timeline. So did you know, how far back can you go back? How many years can you go back on Facebook? What's the farthest you can go back? What year? The year 1000. Facebook is actually built that you can go back and add stuff all the way back to the year 1000. Now, for you, that's probably not going to matter. But, maybe your family runs an oil import business that's been around for a couple hundred years. You could trace that back. Facebook is built to do that. And it's also built to be around for 10,000 years. Seriously, the actual engine that Facebook is built on is set to be good up through the year 10,000. So anything that you post on there will still be around. So, okay. The one thing about Facebook, and this is kind of what I tell marketing students. Did I tell you this the first day of class? Nothing is free. Okay. Yeah. He's like, why did I come to this? I got to deal with the same jokes. So, okay. Nothing in life is free. How much is Facebook?
Free.
What did I just say? Nothing in life is free. So, how does Facebook make money? Stock options? No, they had to have something else for it. Advertising. They connect people. Google. When you guys do your final papers, do you immediately go to a Google search to find out the information? Is that how you research papers? 99% of Google searches are wrong. Do you know why? Because they're all paid for now. So if you have to write a report about Abraham Lincoln, okay, so you go to Google, because Abraham Lincoln is hot right now. You know, popular video games, he kills zombies, and, you know, he's very, very successful right now. So, and he's dead, so he can't make mistakes. If you go Google Abraham Lincoln, what are you gonna find? What will be the first thing you find? It might be Wikipedia, not on Wikipedia, but if you just Google, you're gonna find a listing for it. You'll probably find the movie Abraham Lincoln, because it's in theaters right now, and they've paid a lot of money to make sure that people know there's a $100 million movie in the theaters. So, Google is all paid. 99% of stuff on Google is paid. So, and it's not just Google, it's everything on that is all influenced by people and businesses buying ideas and buying connections and all that. The Library of Congress, you know, in Washington, D.C., is archiving Twitter. Everything that goes out on Twitter is being collected by our government and saved forever. So when you use Twitter, right? What was the last thing you tweeted today?
I didn't tweet today.
What did you tweet yesterday?
I don't remember what it was.
What did you say? Have you ever sworn on Twitter? Have you ever used any type of profane word? I'm not going to ask you what it is.
Probably yes.
Probably yes. So he went from probably to a yes. We'll take it as a yes. That is now, your name is archived in Washington, D.C. with the tweet that you sent for the rest of your life. So everything that you have said has been collected and will be kept. When aliens invade Earth and take us over, they will learn who we are by accessing Twitter, which is really scary because they'll think Kim Kardashian is the president of the world. So, but a lot of people don't know that about Twitter. Can you go in and delete it?
Yeah.
Nope. No, Twitter is permanent. As soon as you hit send, it is in the Library of Congress. Even if you go in and delete it out of your account, they still have records of it. And you gave Twitter permission to do that. Did you know that?
No.
I gotta stop picking on him. I think he's gonna hit me. So you guys gotta kind of put up a line here. So no, because how much is Twitter? What?
Free.
There's no such thing as free. Okay. So when you signed up to Twitter, you know they've got that big long terms of agreement page that's like 87 pages long, that you read everything, or did you just scroll to the bottom, checked yes, and moved forward, which is what you did. Because I did it too. I've never actually read the complete Twitter terms of agreement. But I do know that they have it all in there that we are going to keep this stuff and archive it. So how many people did that on Facebook? Did you read the terms of agreement on Facebook? Did you see the little thing yesterday saying if you copy and paste this thing that states that Facebook is my status, and if I do that, Facebook can never ever use it? Did you see that? That was a scam. That was a hoax that went out yesterday. Facebook, say that we wanted to do an ad campaign. We wanted to put up a billboard on the Beltline for don't be a stupid person. And we wanted to find, me being like an advertising person, I wanted to find a picture of the most dumb-looking student I could find. I could go onto Facebook, and I need a volunteer. So, come on, just volunteer. Okay, say that you've got a picture of you taken at a party, and you've got the dumbest look on your face. And I look at that picture and I go, oh my God, that is great. That's exactly the picture I want to put up on the Beltline for all of Madison to see. I can do that and put it up on the Beltline, and you can't do anything about it. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you signed your life away when you clicked yes on Facebook. So, now, can you sue me? Yes. Is it going to be a long, protracted battle? Yes, it will be. I will end up winning because the law says you agreed on it. So, how many people use iTunes? Okay. Those of you who use iTunes, have you ever downloaded music illegally? Okay, at least you admit it. They all have. You just admit it. iTunes, whenever you use iTunes, when you open up iTunes in your computer, iTunes scans your entire computer and looks at every video that's ever been played on the computer, every song. So say that a friend of yours gave you a CD and you just took it home, you put it in your computer and listened to it. You didn't even burn it, you just listened to it and then you gave it back to him. When you turn on iTunes 3 months from now, iTunes takes that information of what the CD was and sends it back to Apple so they can know what kind of music you like, how many times you listened to it, what time of the day it was, if there was one track you listened to over and over again. If you're on YouTube and you're watching that Justin Bieber video over and over and over again, all that information gets sent back to Apple. And you gave them permission to do that. Because iTunes Terms of Agreement is 87 pages long. Nobody reads it. So somewhere in that 87 pages, it says, I give you permission to look at everything on my computer and send it back to Apple. Everything on your computer. So when you log onto a computer, a laptop, an iPad, whatever, you create what is called a clickstream personality of yourself. It is who you are represented by your viewing habits. So if you think about that, if you go home and log on your computer, and you might pop up ESPN.com. Okay, check out some sports or something. And then you go check out SportsIllustrated.com, and then you go to, I'm tired, I want to go to ComedyCentral.com. All that stuff, the computer eventually gets an idea of who you are. Now let me ask you this, is there anybody in this room that would not want their entire computer usage record be seen? At least you admit it. So think about that. Have you ever been to a website ever, even once in your life, that you don't want other people to know you've been there? Even one time? I'll just let you think about that for a minute. Yeah, so, okay. Every time you do that, you are creating a personality of yourself. And that personality then goes into Facebook, into Google, into Twitter, into iTunes, and all that information gets transmitted with the hope that Apple or Google or Facebook or whoever can sell that to a business for 2/5 of 1 penny. That's the cost. So the whole idea of if I'm a manufacturer of sports apparel, I make clothing, I want to find out what kind of sports you like. First of all, I want to find out, do you like sports? Do you play sports? Because if you don't play sports, I don't want to talk to you. Because why would I talk to you if you're not going to buy my product? So I will go to Facebook and say, give me 1 million people that I know for a fact play baseball. And I want them to be males between the ages of 18 and 22 living on the Isthmus of Madison. And Facebook and Google and all these companies will sell that to me for 2/5 of a cent per person. Now, Google has in their bank account, seriously, $70 billion in cash. Google has so much cash, they don't even have a bank that will keep it all. They have to keep it in multiple banks. True. Google did not exist 12 years ago. So all these billions of dollars, $70 billion, plus the actual price of Google, other buildings and all that stuff, that's just $70 billion in their checking account. So all that was acquired at 2/5 of a cent per connection. It's a lot of connection. That's why there's so much free stuff out there, because nothing is free. How many of you guys use Gmail for email, or Hotmail, or Yahoo email? Okay, when you use Gmail, do they read your email? Of course they do. It's free. Nothing is free. So when you send a Gmail, you type in an email to somebody on your Gmail account, and it's about snowboarding. So you want to go snowboarding. Google, which owns Gmail, Google also owns YouTube. So Google will read that, and if they see that you use the word snowboard like 3 times, they will say, I bet you anything she's into snowboarding. Because if she's not into it, why would she be talking about it on email? Now they know I can hook you up with a snowboard selling business, or Tyrrell Basin or something like that. So You guys use Facebook? Do you ever use the chat on Facebook? Oh my God, really? Seriously, you do? Who actually chats on Facebook? Why don't you just have a conversation in the hallway? It's going to be a lot safer. So everything on Facebook is monitored. Every conversation, every chat. Who's ever had dirty talk on Facebook? See, just by the laughter, I know it happened. All of that is kept by Facebook, and they try to figure out your personality, likes and interests, and all that stuff, so they can sell it to advertisers. Oh yeah, it's out there. It's out. And 10 years ago, I made a mistake, and this, even I felt guilty to this. So my dad was in World War II, and when he died in the late 90s, he left me, because I'm the youngest son, he left me a souvenir of his war adventures. It is an actual Nazi dagger. Seriously, the Nazis, everything. So, and part of it was, okay, my dad's dead, and I have a Nazi dagger. What do I do with it? So I wrapped it up in a towel, and I put it in the closet. Out of curiosity, I was having a conversation with my brother, and he's like, do you think that thing's worth any money? And I'm like, I honestly don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I don't have it displayed on my wall or anything, because you walk into my house. Oh, look, there's your Nazi dagger. So that would actually be okay, because then at least I could control who comes into my house. But I, like the idiot that I am, one Saturday night, I decided to type into, I think it was Yahoo, Nazi dagger. As soon as I hit enter, I went right away. I knew what would happen. It immediately popped up. It's worth like $200. It's not worth anything. Apparently there's lots of these lying around. I had no idea. But for 6 months, I saw nothing but just ads for like white supremacist groups. Like, come join this group. Because I typed in one time, Nazi dagger. That was 10 years ago, before things got sophisticated. And if you don't believe me, go home, don't log into the websites you usually log into, but go to Vegas.com. And just go into Google and just search for Las Vegas Hotel. Just spend about 30 seconds doing it, and then go do something else. And wait for about an hour, and then log back on, and you will start seeing ads for hotels in Vegas. Because the theory is, if you go to Google and you type in Las Vegas, you're probably thinking about going there. And they have some of the most sophisticated stuff. They will inundate you with, on every website you go to, for months, ads for Vegas stuff. It's really quite clever. So, you guys scared yet? So, are you ever going to use Twitter ever again? Probably, yeah. Well, and the thing is though, good. Twitter is a great tool. I love Twitter. I love Facebook. I love all this stuff. The big thing is know how to use it smart. That's the whole thing. How many guys are really good with, you feel very comfortable and secure with your Facebook accounts? You guys feel really good with it? That you feel good? How many friends do you have on Facebook? 1,000. How old are you? 20? 18. Okay. Yeah. The average 18 to 21-year-old has over 1,000 friends on Facebook. How many of these people do you actually know? How many of them have you ever met in real life? Been in the same room physically with them? Two or 300 of them. The other 700 or 800 he's never even physically met. Again, geography falls away. So, okay, can I hack into your Facebook account?
Mine?
Yeah. What is your name? Is this you? You're the third one. Okay. Now, have we ever met each other? No. Are we friends on Facebook? So, I'm not one of the 700 people that you just randomly met and all that? Okay. Let's look at your pictures. May I look at your pictures? Did congratulations. So, aw. And your friend Roy Rosas likes this. That's good. That's good. Why am I seeing this? No, it's not. That's absolutely not public. You've allowed it to be public. Oh, look at that. That's really nice. So I'm going to share it on my wall. Is that okay? So all my friends can see it? That's okay. Okay, thank you. So, okay, I will make it disappear again. So, okay. Well, actually, you might want to see this. Over here, under where it says your name, you might want to click on this. And where is it on the laptop? Go on to what's called privacy settings. And you might want to play around with this a little bit. So. Okay, thank you. Okay. Did you see how easy that was? Now, let me ask you this. Is there anyone in this room that you would not want me to do that for to? Oh, right there, at least in the big size. So one of the guys, no? You want to come up here and see if I can? I wasn't even hacking. I mean, I said I'm going to hack into his account. All I did was typed his name in and just looked at his profile because it's unlocked down. So, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that and the guts to be able to do that. So, this is one of the things that you have to know about Facebook is it's free. Nothing in life is free. Facebook makes money. And they are going to, you are a product to Facebook. That's all you are. You're not a human being. You are just a product that they can connect with an advertiser at 2 feet of the sun. So the more that I can get into your account as an outside person, the easier it is to figure out who you are. So this is the one thing that you have to know just about Facebook is these privacy settings is just going in and changing this stuff. Does everybody know how to tag photos? Do you know how to untag yourself? Anyone not know how to untag yourself? I'm seeing a lot of people just looking at me. Oh, there's a whole ladies. Look at that, a whole hunk of groups of ladies right there. Can you untag yourselves? Do you know how?
Yes.
Do you know how to do it? Good. Does everyone else? What about you four right here? Why would you want to untag yourself? Does that mean it goes away? It's still there. So, has anyone heard stories about people not getting jobs for stuff they found? Let me ask you this. Okay, you graduate, you get this dream job. Okay, I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to pay you $100,000 a year to work on a golf course. You okay with that? Before I hire you, though, you have to give me your Facebook password. So I can go in, because obviously I can get into your site just on my own, but I want to be able to go in and read everything. I want to read all your emails. I want to go into your chats and look at all that stuff. So you give me that password and I'll give you the job. Is that legal? Absolutely. That is 100% legal for a business to do that. Because all they have to do is say, you won't give me that information? Fine, he'll take the job and he gave me his password. So, and of course I also found out what he did on Saturday night, in which case I'm not going to hire him anyway, so now you get the job. So, do you think companies are doing that? Yes, that is the #1 thing that HR managers are looking at in the year 2012 is can we get away with asking people for their password? Obviously there's ethical issues with that, but it's not illegal. That's the whole thing. It is completely not illegal. So you have to think about that is what is on your Facebook accounts. Now remember, and going back how long, and not only your Facebook account, but what about your friend's Facebook account? If you're in a group picture and you're all, it's after a kegger and you're all puking, there's a picture of 4 of you lined up, and you went in and untagged, I'm saying none of you guys have ever done that, I know that, but just in case you had. So all 4 of you are in, you go in, you untag yourself, that picture's still out there. Who owns that picture? Do you own that picture? No. Facebook doesn't own it. But you don't own it either. That's the whole thing. When you upload these pictures, nobody really owns the stuff. And unless you can go in and simply not use Facebook, you can not put pictures on it. But even if if your friends take pictures of you and put them up on their Facebook walls, that is now within the Facebook universe. So, and God forbid somebody shares the picture or tags it or comments it, because then it's stuck forever. At least on Facebook, if there's been no activity, if a picture goes up and there's no tagging, no comments, no liking, you can go in and delete that picture and then it is deleted. But once there's a comment or a like or something, that's it. It is within the Facebook universe. Unless you track down every last person involved in that connection and have them delete their accounts. And even then, what happens when you delete your Facebook account? Does it really go away? No, it does not. No. Facebook does not delete accounts. It just pauses them. Because what happens if you want to come back in a year? They want it to be there because they're doing a service to you, because it's a record of your life. It's free after all, right? Okay. So this is really important, is just to understand things like this. Under your settings, just go in, and I'm not going to show you this, but go in and read this stuff. Who sees tag suggestions and photos that look like you are uploaded? How's that one? Someone doesn't even have to tag you anymore. If you even look like yourself, Facebook will tag you for you. Yes, there's actually software that can go out there and scan the entire internet and find pictures of you from 10 years ago and tag you on them. Because they have all this facial recognition software. You guys have seen the Born Identity. All that's real. All that stuff where they can scan faces and identify people. That technology exists. So Facebook can do that. They can set it up where you can upload pictures and it'll scan through it and go, oh, this is who this person is, and tag it for you. So it's very, very interesting stuff. We are only about 2 or 3 years away from regular video communication. How do you guys use like FaceTime on your phones? So like you can chat and do like video phone calls. So within probably about 2 years, you won't even need a phone number anymore, because all you have to do is just look at your picture, and your face will be your phone number, and that's all that'll be needed to connect with all this stuff. And all you guys have been laying down these digital footprints now for at least 10 years, at least a decade of this digital personality that you're leaving behind. And computers don't forget, because all this stuff is digital. It's all stored. Twitter, that just amazes me that Twitter and the Library of Congress, they're archiving it. I just cannot believe that all the stuff Kim Kardashian says is kept forever in government. So that's kind of scary. You guys have any questions so far? You've all got this look of either incredible boredom or sheer panic. It's just kind of one or the other. So sheer panic, is that worse? The big thing is this is kind of, it's kind of a little reactionary, but you know, there are things that you can do to kind of fix it. So let's look at a few things. 12 things students should never do on social media. Illegal activities. Think about that. Anyone done anything like that? Okay, you're 18. I'm assuming you've never tasted alcohol.
That's correct.
That's correct. Thank you. And you will never ever taste alcohol until your 21st birthday.
Yep.
That's correct. So good, because if you post it on Facebook or on Twitter, or if a friend takes a picture of you and posts it on Facebook, it's there. So, and now I know that you're willing to break the law. Because is that breaking the law?
Yep.
What about downloading music? Is that illegal? Sure it is. And your computers all have record of whether or not you've downloaded it. And remember, if you have iTunes on that computer, Apple knows as well. So, and if Apple knows, Microsoft knows, Yahoo knows, they all know about it. And the only reason you haven't been arrested yet is because there just aren't enough cops in the world. So, according to the law, downloading music and going into Best Buy and stealing a CD legally are the same thing. Seriously, in terms of like illegal activity, from the law's point of view, it's exactly the same thing. The interesting thing is, if you steal a CD from Best Buy and you put it in your coat and nobody sees you, you actually get away with it. If you download it on your computer, they just haven't gotten around to catching you yet, because they know you've done it. So, have you ever downloaded movies or downloaded TV shows, like off the internet, not off like a regular website? All that stuff, all these companies know who you are, or it's too late. They already know who you are. They just have to get around to it. Okay, obviously bullying, that's kind of come to light.
I don't think like the companies that allow you to download that Why don't they get in trouble for it?
There's actually, because that actually went to the Supreme Court. Do you remember Napster? Napster, okay, this is from the late 90s. Napster was a program that allowed you to download music illegally from one computer to another. It's called a BitTorrent. Okay. And the government actually went and sued Napster. The record company sued Napster. The government ruled that the software itself is not illegal because that software can be used for legal purposes. It's just the user was using that software for illegal activity. So therefore, it would be like me giving you a gun and saying, you know, if you go out hunting and you use it properly, that's fine. If you shoot somebody with the gun, can I sue the gun owner or do I sue you? So it's the same thing. It's just a tool. It's a tool that can be used. So trashing your teachers. I just love this. So it's really fun. I really appreciate it. It's like when a student comes in and says, "Oh, you know, did you hear such and such, you know, complained about you the other day?" I'm like, because students do talk, you know. You guys may have noticed this. So, and of course it comes back because if you posted on, "Oh, I went to this thing about this dork talking about social media and he embarrassed me," it was just really awful. So I will find out. So because you'll put that on Facebook. He'll put it on his Facebook. He'll send it to Twitter. It will go out there. Has anyone ever Googled your own name? Oh, if you haven't, you better. You better. The first thing, before you even lock down your Facebook account tonight, Google your own name. So you need to know what's out there. My name is Stephen David Noll. I'm from Wisconsin. So if you Google Stephen David Noll in the Department of Corrections records, there is according to that, I'm in prison for aggravated sexual battery, I believe is what it is. So, yes, there's another one of me out there. The only difference is our birth dates are about 10 years apart. So when I got hired here at the school, they said, "Well, we're going to hire you. You seem like you know what you're talking about, but we have to do like a criminal background check on you first." I'm like, "That's good. Make sure you check the birth date." Because imagine that somebody in HR just does a Google search probably and finds this other Stephen Noll and goes, "I don't want to hire him. He's a creep." They could not hire me and then never tell me why. But it's not me. It's somebody else. And the only reason I know that is because I've Googled my own name and tried to dig up dirt on myself just to see what's out there. And I happen to run into this person in the cyber world where I just hope I don't ever run into him in the real world. So, very important thing to do. So, but I mean, all this stuff comes around. So, you know, certainly if you're going to be doing something illegal, don't use the school's computers. So really don't use anything where a connection goes through the air like your smartphone. So I think it's very, very funny when I hear stories about people that do drug deals using their phones. I mean, A, drug deals are bad. B, it's really stupid. So, and you get caught. So, confidential information. Think about all those websites, all those little chats you've had on Facebook late at night, about 1:30 in the morning. So, all that stuff is out there. See, yeah. So now you're thinking, going, "Wait a second, have I ever done that? Oh, I did that last night." So you know, all that stuff is out there. How many people do check-ins? You know, check in on Facebook or something, or Foursquare. So I have to admit, I'm a big fan of it's called geomarketing. I'm a huge fan. I'm always checking in on stuff and all that. Okay, out of your 1,000 friends, so you admitted you don't know 800, 700, 800 of them?
Probably do.
Okay, if you check in on Facebook, you know what it says to those 700 people? "Rob my house." Because if you check in at a game, I know you're not there home for 2 hours. So I'm going to go break into your house. So actually the more important thing is it's not to stop the check-in. It's to go through that list of 1,000 people and say, do I really need 1,000 friends? So how many of them have you hidden or blocked?
I deleted a lot of people.
That's good, yeah. Do you guys know how to block people on Facebook? So I love the blocking feature. My sister in Kansas, her husband has money, so she doesn't have to work. She's very intelligent, and she's bored. It's a recipe for disaster. So I have hidden her from my Facebook account because it would just be a constant stream of, she said, I think she discovered the internet like 2 years ago and never knew it existed. So, but I go in and I blocked her, and you know, she's coming home this Christmas and I will have to unblock her like 2 days ahead of time just so I can say, oh yeah, I saw the stuff you've been posting all year long. But no, and then as soon as she leaves, I'll reblock her again. Is that bad of me? No, yeah. I mean, she's my sister. I want to stay friends with her, so. Oh, plagiarizing. So, really, do you really go to Wikipedia and use Wikipedia to write papers? Do you really do that? So, I hope not. So, Wikipedia, I can go onto Wikipedia and edit it. So say that you're writing a paper. Actually, it's very funny. When Barack Obama was inaugurated president 4 years ago, you go onto his Wikipedia page. You know who his senior advisor is? Abraham Lincoln. Absolutely. So if you're writing a paper about Barack Obama, you would put in there that his senior advisor is some guy named Abraham Lincoln. So seriously, you can go into Wikipedia. Yeah, that's the whole point of Wikipedia. You can go in and edit the stuff and share it. So it's not reliable. I mean, it's good for like a quick reference, but certainly if you're trying to... And the funny thing is, teachers know this stuff. I mean, I went to college too, so I kind of know what it was like. I mean, I didn't have Google at the time, which is kind of a good thing. School-specific policies. So you guys all have your athletic code of conducts up to date, right? Covering social media. Can we go in and take a look at what's on your Facebook accounts? Can I go in and read your Twitter account? Actually, I can, because it's public knowledge. So when you say something on Twitter, it is the same as if you ran screaming through the cafeteria saying whatever it is. In fact, it's worse because it's like you're screaming through the cafeteria every day, because it's always there. I can always go in and find it. I can always go in and trace it back. Let's see. Okay. Let's look at some of the more humorous type things that have happened. So should referees wear the clothing of a team that they're reffing? Yeah, this guy got in trouble. So it's a Facebook photo he posted of himself in the clothes for the Saints, and of course he's supposed to be a ref. So yeah, he got fired. So how about this one? People have lost their jobs over social media. Let's see. This is a teacher. She was on vacation in Europe, and some of her photographs included visits to the Guinness Brewery and a local pub in Dublin. Nothing wrong with that. Her Facebook page was private. However, she had friended other teachers in her school. When the principal found out the photo, she was told to surrender her resignation. She sued the school because she was not made aware of her rights. She lost. And she's unemployed. Let's see, what else? This is a former U.S. representative. This is a picture that he sent out on Twitter, and he resigned a couple hours after this picture went out. And that's it. I don't think that particular is... In fact, I would say most people have pictures like this. I mean, there's nothing graphic or pornographic about it. So that's all it took. And he was out of a job 4 hours after he sent this picture. So I love this one. Someone posted on Twitter, Cisco just offered me a job. Now I have to weigh between the utility of a fatty paycheck against a daily commute to San Jose and hating the work. This person's job offer was very quickly rescinded. So, and again, they posted on Twitter. It kind of came back to them. So here we go. Former Pro Bowl running back Larry Johnson, series of inflammatory tweets for the Kansas City Chiefs. Derogatory remarks about his coach and a gay slur directed at fans. 32,000 of the fans petitioned the team to get rid of him. And he bitched about it on Twitter, and he got let go from his contract. So, oops. How about doing stuff in the business world? That's Chrysler's actual Twitter account. Because people talk like that. You hear that word every single day in the hallways here. There's nothing wrong with that word, right? Or is it? I mean, it's just swearing. Everybody swears. It doesn't hurt to swear. So, well, this person just typed it, and of course they got fired. So, war correspondence. So, yeah, some of this is really, really kind of funny. So, Gilbert Gottfried, who is the voice of the Aflac duck. You know the Aflac duck? He got paid millions of dollars a year just to be the voice of the Aflac duck. Posted on Twitter right after the tsunami in Japan, where 300,000 people drowned. He posted this the next day. The day after that, Aflac hired a new person to voice the duck and paid them less than several $million. So they were probably happy about it. So, people posted, they uploaded onto YouTube clips of them working at Domino's doing gross things to food because they thought it was funny. And again, it's social media, because if you post it up to YouTube, no one will see it, right? Isn't that kind of the whole point of YouTube? So, yeah, they all got fired. So, this is one, I love this. Brian Gumbel in 1994 talking about having no idea. The internet as we know it was born in 1993. So in 1994, they must have had a conversation. He's like, what is the internet? So a couple years ago, this I think was 2 years ago, some person working at the Today Show found that clip and posted it on their website because they thought it was funny to post the host of the Today Show talking about what is the internet. That person got fired because NBC did not find it funny. So yeah, it's a really interesting stuff. Let's see, there's a couple examples in here I want to show you real quick. So, let's see. This was an interesting one. Good morning, shooters. Happy Friday. Weekend plans from the NRA. That was posted automatically the morning of the Aurora, Colorado shooting during the Dark Knight movie. So America woke up to the story that a gunman had gone on a rampage in the movie theater. They posted that on Twitter that morning. It was pre-programmed and to go out on a regular Friday. It's bad timing. So, oops. You gotta think about that stuff. So, it gets worse. So, here's Celebrity Boutique saw that the word Aurora was trending on Twitter because everyone was talking about it, and they posted, Aurora's trending clearly about our Kim Kardashian-inspired Aurora dress. You can buy it. Oops. Let's see, the Chick-fil-A controversies and Coulter. So, here was one on KitchenAid. Someone actually posted, they were working for KitchenAid, and they had their personal Twitter account up, and then they had their KitchenAid corporate Twitter account. And they went to post a comment about Obama you remember the debates a couple months ago when in the first debate when he did a really bad job. It was really bad. So this person at KitchenAid actually put out a tweet saying, be glad Obama's grandmother is dead because she'd be really embarrassed if she saw him today. I mean, and that meant to go on their personal Twitter feed. By mistake, they had the wrong screen open. They posted it on the KitchenAid corporate account. So that person didn't even get overnight until they were fired. So, and of course, KitchenAid had launched, this huge spin control to try to clean that up. Even though they deleted the tweet, is it really deleted? Absolutely not. Oh, I heard that. Was that tweet? There we go. This is how you should celebrate the weekend. So, that's exactly what you post on your business Twitter feeds. Yep. The interesting thing is they claimed that they were hacked, and then it came out that they weren't. It was just somebody working for them that didn't think about it. So, how about this, American Apparel? Since there's a hurricane bearing down on New York, let's go shopping. So, yeah, that's probably not the best morning. So, but the Gap did it too. So, all impacted by Hurricane Sandy. Stay safe. We'll be doing lots of Gap.com shopping. How about you? Oops. So, yeah. Our little here's just, okay, last thing I want to show you just kind of a little video. This is kind of an interesting thing just about, oh, we don't even need the audio on it, that's fine. So, how prevalent the world has been, especially Facebook and Twitter, and how much they have coming in there. Facebook.com is the #1 website in the world. So about 1/3 of internet traffic is Facebook. So it's amazing how predominantly that is. If Facebook were a country, if the user of Facebook in the country, it would be the 3rd largest country in the world, and it's almost #2. Only China is bigger than Facebook. India and Facebook are about tied. So Facebook is 4 times bigger than the United States. So just in terms of the users and all that. So you think of all this content, all this stuff that's going out there. 225 million people using Twitter. 150 million tweets a day. So I think your one tweet, you're probably okay. I think you'll be safe. So 8,900 tweets per second. And that record actually just got beat. So the current record of tweets is when Obama got reelected. That hit 10,000 tweets per second. That's the current record holder. So how many of you guys on LinkedIn? Any of you on LinkedIn? Okay, a couple of smart ones. Yeah, so do you want a job? Get on LinkedIn. So, although, you know what the #1 place to find a job online is? Facebook. It still is. Well, LinkedIn that's the business network. That's, if you're not on LinkedIn, you need to be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is basically, it's Facebook for your career. So you have to think about that. So 35 hours of video uploaded every minute on YouTube. You couldn't watch it all. It's just amazing. So 3,500 photos on Flickr, and this was made before Pinterest. Think about how much Pinterest is only behind Facebook and Twitter in terms of popularity, and Pinterest has been around for less than 2 years. That's scary. So think of all those pictures. Do you just repin stuff, or do you put your own? You just repin, then you're probably safe. So, although who owns that stuff? Copyright infringement? You can get sued. You could be. That's the interesting thing about photo sharing is nobody knows if that's illegal right now because this stuff is changing so fast. We don't even know if the laws are keeping up with it. So that's the basic thing. So just the iPhone, it's just 10% of everything. All the use on the iPhone is Facebook. So people basically get an iPhone so they can go on to Facebook more than 51 times in a day. So it's kind of interesting. So anyway, any last questions, comments? You want more ghost stories? I can tell you the story of these 2 girls that were chatting on Facebook. No, that's an urban legend. So, what else would you like to know? What did I miss? Coaches? Anything?
Is MySpace still out there?
MySpace is still out there. MySpace actually just got bought by Justin Timberlake about 6 months ago. MySpace is basically rebranding itself as a music sharing site for like people that make their own music, like aspiring musicians. That's really what MySpace has become. It's specifically just for that. And he and some investors just bought it about 6 months ago. So it's still there, but it's a very specific format now.
Was that not the first one out there?
No, the actual first social network was called Friendster. Yeah, Friendster was first. Friendster begat MySpace, which begat Facebook, and who knows what will happen beyond that. So, yeah, Facebook was born in 2004, and it went mainstream in 2006. So Facebook has only been around for 6 years, really, practically used 6 years, and it's already got over 1 billion users. That's how popular and powerful this is. Anything more? I think they want more pizza.
Yeah, we took it. That's good.
Cool.
Thank you. There's a couple things, some of the coaches and staff are going to hand out pens and some paper stuff here to you guys. So first, thanks Steve for coming over to do that. I think about, I've got a 6th grader and a 4th grader. And And what you guys have experienced in a short amount of time, I can only imagine the conversation we'd have 10 years from now. If my kids are sitting in this room and what's out there, and pretty scary. But I think it was a great message to at least hear that a lot of things might be considered, what you consider private are actually out there public and you can have access to it.
You want their names on them?
These?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need the names on the evaluation. What's coming around is a couple things. First, this is a card that we just have that links, or you guys go on all of these different sites, and I think there's Facebook, Twitter, our own website at Madison College, all related to athletics. So if you want to find out information as you leave here, if you want to stay in touch, if you got certain things that you're going to find out about game information, whatever the case, it's all things that you'll have access to on those cards. The other stuff here, the other thing that's going on